Who's here? Anybody? Rat Rock is here. He's the only one, it looks like, from New Jersey. All right. Rat Rock, you're in for I was gonna say you're in for a surprise on Friday, but I guess it's not a surprise if I'm telling you right now. Let's just say tune in on Friday, and I think there will be something that you're gonna like. Thank you for joining. It's you and me now. Do you want to know what it is? Do you want a spoiler alert, or do you just want to see what's gonna happen on Friday? All right. Think of it as a date. All right, you wanna know what it is? Is that what the sure is? All right, it's gonna be the, I already did it. I recorded it a couple of days ago, but it'll be up on Friday. The 1983 Rat EP. Sweet Cheater, You Think You're Tough, You Got It, Tell the World, Back for More, Walking the Dog. That's gonna be Friday. It's a short one though. It's like 10 or 11 minutes. Most of these videos I do, God, they're long sometimes. They're over 20 minutes. The rat one is the shortest one yet. It's 10 or 11 minutes for one, because it's only 6 songs, so there's not too much to talk about. Also, because I've already talked about rat before, so I didn't have too much material to go over. Yeah, it's an EP. That's right, 6 songs. What do you think about that EP? Where would you rank it, Luis? From Chicago, the Windy City of Chicago. Hello from Chicago. I don't know if I've ever seen Luis. Do we know each other, Luis? Your name is unfamiliar. You're welcome nonetheless. Um, I think Piercy said last year that he was gonna reissue. I guess he does a lot of this himself. He was gonna reissue the EP, the 1983 EP. Oh, thank you for watching, Luis. If I can ask, Luis, which videos do you like? I mean, it's basically, I think most people that watch the videos, it's either hiking or the I want to talk about this record. I assume music, Luis. Who do you like? What bands do you like? Okay, you like the record reviews. Who do you like? Which ones have I done that you like, or which bands do you like? Is there anything you'd like to see me do? I don't know if I can take requests. Black Sabbath. I've done almost all the Black Sabbath. Uh, Iron Maiden too. I've done all the Black Sabbath I'm going to do. There is one more Black Sabbath I'm going to do. It's over here in front of me. It's not too far from where I am right now. Yo, a lot of Motorhead coming up. There's going to be at least, I think there's 10 Motorhead coming up. That's going to be over the next. I mean, that might take me a year to get through 10 Motorhead records, including my favorite. I haven't done my personal favorite Motorhead record yet, but I do have it in the queue over here. And Iron Maiden, I think I've done all the Iron Maiden I'm going to do. I did the first 2 records, Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Live After Death, and the Live After Dead Mexico City AC/DC, I've got a lot of AC/DC coming up too. I think about another 4, 5, 6, at least 4 AC/DC yet to come also. Rat Rock's favorite is Dancing Undercover. Me too. I don't know if you know that, Rat Rock. Maybe we've talked about this before. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, those first Out of the Cellar, Invasion, Dancing, Reach for the Sky, and Detonator, they're pretty much interchangeable in a good way. But yeah, Dancing Undercover is my favorite. And my friend Dallas, it's his favorite as well. Yeah, I thought we had. Who else is here? Is Dallas here? We're up to a few people now. The party's just getting started. I don't know who's here. Dallas? I didn't really tell anybody about this. I put up I know Dallas knew this. He texted me last night and asked if I was going live. Maybe Dallas will make an appearance. Who's here? I see a bunch of people here, but only two are chatting. Luis and Rat Rock. Luis says you watch my Chopo concert videos. I will be going to El Chopo this Saturday. And as always, I don't think I've ever gone to El Chopo and not taken a video. And that tradition will continue this Saturday, January 27th. I'm going um, to El Chopo in the daytime and then a concert at night. So stay tuned for the El Chopo video on, I don't know if it'll be up on Sunday or Monday. Any requests of anything you want to see from El Chopo, Luis, or Radrock or anybody? Uh, Radrock says he just had an issue with your cat. So did I. I'm looking at, you know what I'm looking at right now? I'm looking at cat vomit. It's about 30 centimeters away from my foot. As I was starting up the car, meaning the car being this live stream, my cat here vomited at my feet. Lovely. Cats always vomit. Oh wow, look at all these coincidences. Speaking of getting teeth pulled, I went to the dentist today. I can't believe it's 2,100 bucks. What was wrong with his teeth? Did he have did he have cancer or something? Or man, to have all I've never heard of a cat having teeth pulled. What the hell happened? And then I'll get to my dental problems. Genetic disease. Oh, that's too bad. And so what does he do now? What does he do with no teeth? How does a cat get by with no teeth? Oh, he's young. He's only 4. All right, Luis is asking for more concert reviews. Um, could be. I don't really. I'm not good at doing reviews. That I want to talk about this album. The videos I do for me, those are not really reviews. I see those as just talking about them as if I were talking to a friend, having a conversation. Except it's just a guy, me, and a camera. That's it. There's no feedback from anybody. But concert reviews could be. I've done that a couple of times with at least I did with Guns N' Roses. I combined talking about I think it was Use Your Illusion or maybe both Use Your Illusions and the I saw them twice last year or in 2023, 2022. I combined one concert review with Chinese Democracy, and the other one with the Use Your Illusion albums. And I will be doing one. I am going to a concert on March 22nd to see Dirty Sound Magnet, and I have a Dirty Sound Magnet record right over here that I will be doing. I don't know if I should do the record for you know what? Maybe now that Luis is asking for that, maybe I can combine the record episode of the Dirty Sound Magnet record with the concert review. Although that's still another 2 months away. All right, but I appreciate the suggestion. All right, Radrock says they doesn't need teeth to eat. Yeah, soft food is easy. All right. Yeah, that's terrible, man. Not just the monetarily, 2,100 bucks. That's a lot of scratch. Just the poor cat. I'd imagine that was probably painful for him. If he had to have all his teeth removed, he was probably in considerable pain. And I just got back from the dentist shortly before I started this live stream. Um, I'll say what happened. I guess it was about a year and a half ago. I was eating an apple, and I noticed that part of my back molar. I learned today that they call it the third molar, which is really your wisdom tooth, and part of it broke off. It felt like a giant boulder had broken off. Although if you look at my tooth, it was like this tiny, tiny. It's like when you get a pebble in your shoe, you feel like it's like a quarry that's in your shoe, and then when you tip your shoe upside down to spill it out, it's just this tiny, tiny grain of sand. So it felt like this giant chunk of my tooth broke off, but it didn't hurt, and it wasn't causing me problems, which was maybe ignorant for me to think like that. And so I just left it, which was very stupid, as I'm learning now. And then maybe 2 months ago, another part of the same tooth broke off. And again, it didn't hurt, so I thought, I can get by with this. This is not so bad. But then maybe 2 weeks ago, I got some pretty bad pain on that same tooth, and it kind of came and went, the pain. And then I think on Friday last week, the pain was pretty bad, and I thought I was going to have to go like to the dentist, like an emergency. I have a friend whose wife is a dentist, and I texted him and I asked him, "Is Val working today?" And he said, "Yeah." And I told him what happened. He said, "Well," he said, "Yeah, call her." Um, but then I discovered there, and then stupidly the pain went away. So I thought, "Hey, I'm healed. I'm all right. I don't need to take care of this." No, I didn't think that, but it wasn't at that point an emergency. It turns out that there's a dentist right behind my house. I'm not kidding. It takes me about 35 seconds to walk there. So I made an appointment for there. I went there this afternoon, late this afternoon. Um, he kind of looked at it. He said the choices would be to get it extracted, although there's not much left to extract because about I guess those two big pieces, at least two big pieces that broke off. Or he said you could get a crown if there's enough tooth left to support a crown. Um, I think getting a crown is like unbelievably expensive. Getting extracted, I think I would guess is much cheaper. I have no reason to get a crown. You don't need your wisdom teeth. But anyway, so then I had to go get an X-ray. I've got the X-ray over here from CROM, the Centro Radiologico something. So I got my X-ray. X-ray, you're gonna pay the only chance you ever got to get away. That's a lyric from Dr. Rock from Motorhead or Gasmatron. And, so I got the X-ray, so I have to make another appointment to go see this guy, the dentist behind my house sometime next week. There is Dallas. Dallas is, I'm surprised he's still alive. He's not frozen to death. It was, I think, -53. Dallas lives up in Saskatoon, Canada. And it was -53 there, Celsius, the other day. Dallas, we mentioned you. Rat Rock and I started the conversation by mentioning you that all three of us have put Dancing Undercover as our favorite Rat record. And Dallas just got yeah, yeah, tits were freezing. I guess everything was frozen. What did you get for what did Lisa give you for Christmas, Dallas? Was that the Dancing Undercover or out of the cellar? OOTC. Yeah, Dancing Undercover. Yeah, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Luis says you saw pretty much everything from my Chopo videos. Okay, good. Well, as I said, there's going to be another one this weekend. Was Dancing Undercover she gave you? Hey, there's Mike Pratt. I was wondering if that bitter, angry guy who's always getting angry at me, but that I take so long to open those records. I didn't know if he'd show. Hello, Mike. Nice to see you. At least to see your name. I wish I could video chat with all of you. So we got a big Rat fan, a big Kiss fan. Dallas is a kind of everything guy. I don't associate Dallas with one single band like maybe people associate me. Some people associate me with Kiss. I associate Mike Pratt with Kiss. Um, who else is here? There's a couple of did you miss anything? Well, I was naked to start when there was just a couple of people, I was naked. But then once some more people got on, I got a little bit bashful and put some clothes on, at least a shirt. I am still naked from the waist down. Hi, there's Jordan. Jordan, an old friend of mine from back home in Guelph, Ontario, Canada. Let's say Toronto, because nobody Dallas, I guess, knows Guelph, but I don't think anybody else knows Guelph. Toronto general area. Hello, Jordan. Whatever happened to Angelina? I guess she's still around. Maybe she'll make an appearance tonight, Angelina. And Dallas, yeah, Dallas is the death metal guy. He likes obituary. You know what? There's an obituary song that I have on my phone that came on when I was listening to random music a couple days ago, like the 10,000 songs I have on my phone, and I just listen to them randomly. And a song came on. I thought, what is this? It sounds really good. And I think it was Obituary. Just a minute, it was. I know it was Obituary. I'll tell you what the song was. I'm sure Dallas knows it. The song was called Brave on the self titled. The album is called. I hope I don't get in shit from YouTube for that. The album is called Obituary. That's a self-titled. I believe that's eponymous, right? From 2017. Do you know that song, Dallas? Brave by Obituary, 2017 self-titled album. The numbers in the live chat are fluctuating. They're coming and going. I guess that's like I guess there's an American, maybe Mike or Rat Rock knows this, the convenience store chain, American chain called Come and Go. Um I just saw last week or something. I think they're going out of business. Am I right? I don't know if that's a regional store. Oh, how am I liking my turntable? Not very much. To be honest, it's not that good. I've actually thought about upgrading it a little bit. There was one I was looking at, a Crosley. I can't remember the model number. Um, it, um, yeah, it's not that good. I listen to all my records exclusively with headphones. Not this set, but I have another, not earbuds, but actual wired headphones like this. These ones are really good. These ones sound amazing. I can't believe how these were around 40, $50 at Costco a few years ago. They're fantastic. They're called Klipsch. Why was I putting it to the microphone? Um, the only reason I use my other headphones is because the cable is longer, the cord is longer. So I use those. So I listen whenever I listen to records, it's always with headphones. The speakers are not very good. All right, so neither of you guys have heard Rat Rock nor Mike have heard of Come and Go. It's come with a K-U-M, a little bit provocative maybe. I think it's in Texas or maybe in the Southwest, something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, Dallas, don't start. Yeah, that's there have been 2 times that Dallas has texted me. Oh, very nice, Mike. I like that. Yeah, come and go, came and went. Nicely done. That's something I should have thought to say. Um, yeah, Dallas texted me. I mentioned in the Armored Saint March of the Saint that I did last week. He texted me and he said it took he said it took 40 years, but I finally got into Armored Saint March of the Saint, and I think within what was it, Dallas? Probably seriously 5 minutes. I sent him a screenshot of my Amazon purchase, and that was the second time that happened. The other one was, should I say it? I think it would be a spoiler if I said what the other one was. I don't know if Dallas remembers. It was maybe somebody can guess. It was an album from 1986. Dallas probably remembers what it was. An album from 1986 with a really bad drum sound. The Ultimate Sin had a pretty bad drum sound. It came out in 1986, but it's not that one. Any guesses? There was somebody, was it Ernesto White that was really good at guessing these? I gave some hints about a Motorhead record once, and he or it was a Black Sabbath or something, and he got it based on my very vague hints, I think. He was whoever it was a smart guy. Dallas doesn't remember. Okay. All right, I won't say it then. It was a couple of months ago. What Rat Rock says he's been on a vinyl spree lately. What have you bought? Or you mean I assume you mean buying spree, not listening spree? What have you been buying or listening to Rat Rock? Yep, 86. Oh, I think there's going to be an ad. Not Dawkin. Under Lock and Key came out in 1986, but it's not Dawkin. I'm getting a message that there's going to be an ad for some viewers in about 34 seconds. I think if you have YouTube Premium, I guess you won't get that. Svengali, which Svengali? The debut one, right? They reissued that last week. I mean, last year. I think around middle of last year. Black Crows, Bad English, Neil Sean, right? Skid Row, Pantera. By the way, I think there's going to get an ad. So I'll be quiet for a few seconds. Yeah, Rat Rock says the debut Svengali. I never got into that, even though I'm from Toronto and Svengali's from Toronto. I never got into that debut album. I loved the second one, which is called In Wire. I thought that album was way, way, way better. I love that album. Helen, Rocking Chair, What You Give. Um, when you Keeps Me Down. Yeah, that second Svengali album is fantastic. Um, Bad English, never. What was that shitty song they had? When You Close Your Eyes or something? Neil Sean was John Waite. Who was the singer? And who else was in Bad English? It was Neil Sean, Sean or Scon? I think it's Sean, right? Um, who else was in that band? Rat Rock has YouTube Premium. John Waite. Yeah, I said John Waite, I think, 'cause that's what I thought. I thought it was John Waite. Did I say John Waite? I meant to. Missing You. I remember John Waite had that song "Missing You" that was big in the '80s. When I See You Smile. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. What did I say when you close your eyes? I knew it started with when. No, I think Svengali released. I remember Svengali had an album called Bombs and Battle Scars or something. Was that the one? Did that come out? I remember them talking about it. I don't remember it ever coming out. I kind of wanted to check that Svengali album ever out. I mean, I think I never did. I remember that Svengali cover Spellbound. That was pretty good. About 2 years ago, I think, during the pandemic. Yeah, that was pretty good. They did a video for it too, I think. And I'll tell you a quick and not very interesting Triumph story. I was never into them, but when they played in Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens on the Thunder 7 tour, which was 80, I think 86, 87. I think it was on a Friday night or Saturday night. And my friend and I were sitting around and we said, let's go see Triumph. And we didn't have tickets. And we went downtown, Toronto, went to Maple Leaf Gardens, and we're gonna get tickets, and it was sold out. So I never did see Triumph. Uh the bomb, yeah, it didn't come out. Ah, okay. Maybe it was just a online release? There was no was there an was it did they actually have physical copies of it or was it digital only? The Svengali album. Svengali? Svengali? You have to buy it directly from them. Yeah. I think I never saw Svengali, even though I was, living in Toronto at the time. I'm pretty sure I never saw them. The Svengali came out on vinyl and CD, so we have conflicting reports. Ah, okay. No, no, it's not conflicting. So yeah, I had to buy it. So it did come out on vinyl and CD, but you had to buy it directly from them. I guess no Amazon. You're not going to find the Svengali album at Best Buy. And now my cat, who I mentioned earlier, vomited. She's eating her vomit now. I guess that saves me from cleaning it up. Ah, oh, record store in Saskatoon. Imagine that. Cat vominator. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess she didn't enjoy it the first time, or maybe she did. Maybe this way she gets to enjoy it twice. And by the way, I hope I sound okay, right? My sound is good. It sounds good to me. But after that debacle, or as little Carmine would say, debacle, the other day uh with Chris McClernand from Saigon Kick, Did anybody listen to that, by the way? Did anybody attempt to listen to? Mike did. Mike, are you still around? I think. By the way, I read some comments today. Didn't get a chance to reply to them. All right, Mike said the sound is good. Yeah, he said it was not that bad. When I watched it, I mean, it wasn't as bad for me because I knew what I was saying. But I thought, man, it must have been a pain in the ass, like a real chore to listen to. Which, as I said in the intro, would have been. It sucks. I was very happy with everything we talked about in that episode. Chris has an incredible memory, which we also talked about at the end. And but yeah, I was marred by my sound problems. And I'm going to be talking to Jason McMaster soon too. Um, Mike says the Saigon Kick video wasn't as bad as it went along. Yeah, maybe the more you had, it depends on maybe your you know the way you look at it. The more you listen to it, the better it sounds, or the more you listen to it, the worse it sounds. Oh my god, that stuff between Jason and Matt is unbelievable, man. That's like so much worse than anything, no? Like worse than who else? Well, uh I was gonna say, a lot of these guys have become very bitter. KK Downing, Michael Schenker, Dave Mustaine has been like that forever, for decades. Who else is like that? Just always Dave Abruzzese, the Pearl Jam drummer. Some of these guys, they're just so still so angry about stuff from the 90s or earlier in Mustaine's case and Michael Schenker's case, going back maybe to the 70s. Um, yeah, a couple of things here, and I see Dallas is asking what record everyone wants to get their hands on next. I'll get to that, and anybody else can answer that too. Um, between, and I know nobody asked me, but I'll say it anyway. Between Jason and Matt, um, I mean, I don't care. I don't know either of them personally. I only know them through their music. So personally, maybe everything that Matt accused Jason of, maybe that's true. Um, Maybe it's not. I don't know. Um, but what's weird for me about that is, those problems were in 1992 and 93. And since then, Matt has, got back together with Saigon Kick, with Jason, and toured with them at least once. They maybe a couple of times. So there's it's that weird, like, it's weird that he was so angry from the 90s, then went back as if everything was normal, and now he's back talking. Man, some of that stuff Matt said was crazy. And again, I don't know and I don't care. Musically, I will take Jason's side by far, just for the simple fact that since Saigon Kick, as far as I know, Matt Kramer has put out one album. That was War and Peace. Sorry, War and Peas. Haha. Very clever. I got that way back whenever that came out. I think that was an internet only release. I got that. Um, so Matt has only done, I mean, maybe personally he's done stuff. I know he has a vocal school or a vocal, teaches a vocal course or something. Maybe he's very, very successful, but musically, in terms of consumption, I don't think he's done anything. Jason has recorded probably about 200 songs since Saigon Kick. He's done a couple of, he did a couple of super transatlantic records. He did two original solo records, the Houston We Have a Problem in 97 or 98, and then a BVB only digital release in also in 98 or 99, and then via Owl Stretching or his name, Jason Beeler. He's done, yeah, he's probably put out 200 songs since Saigon Kick ended. So, you know, um big advantage to Jason musically. Um what's happening February 28th? Rat Rock is saying February 28th. Did I miss something? I don't know if anybody can hear, but Poison, Nothing But a Good Time, is playing outside my house. Oh yeah, getting back. So Dallas wants to get Presto. I hated that the White Lion reissues coming on February 20th. Big Game was pretty good. Big Game was Radar Love. I remember the album cover. It was the White House, right, with the lion in front, lying in the tall grass. Um, Little Fighter was Little Fighter. Yeah, Little Fighter was on Main Attraction, right? I mean, Big Game. Poison is not touring Mexico, but Sebastian Bach is. I don't know if he's touring Mexico, but he's playing in Mexico City. Um, Next month, maybe February or March. I think Danko Jones just played here. Let me check. I think that just passed or it's just coming up. Danko Jones. I would have liked to have gone to both of those. Just way too expensive. Um, Let me see something here. I'm just checking something on my phone. I'm seeing something kind of interesting. Uh, Let me see when Danko Jones and now Girls, Girls, Girls is playing. I've heard Scorpions, Loving You Sunday Morning, I think, from this guy across the street. Danko Jones. Put the date here, dude. February 17th. I thought it was sometime this month. So Danko Jones is February 17th. Sebastian Bach, I think it's around the same time. Just they're way too expensive, both those shows, because I'm not really into either of those, but I would like to check them out. And this is what's really changed since the pandemic. Um, Shows like that before the pandemic were probably 400, 500 pesos. Now they're like 900, maybe 950. And I would pay that for some bands. I'm not paying that just for curiosity thing. So Banco and Sebastian Bach, I guess will miss my business, but I will be seeing Dirty Sound Magnet on March 22nd. And Exciter, I'm going to see Exciter. If anybody, Dallas, I know knows Exciter. Violence and Force, Heavy Metal Maniac, um, Long Live the Loud, Unveiling the Wicked. I'll be going to see Exciter. That's two concerts on 2 Fridays in a row. March 22nd, Dirty Sound Magnet. March 29th, Exciter. Mike says he saw Skid Row at a club on Long Island, and they were great. The new singer Eric has a killer voice. That's what everybody tells me. Damien, Long Gone Loser Rock Show. I thought he might have been here. Maybe he'll still show up. That guy's in Australia. I don't even know what month it is in Australia today. Yeah, everything is getting more expensive. Yeah, including my rent starting in March or April. Among the Joes, yo. Oh my God, there's Dominic. Nice to see you, Dom. Some old favorites of mine here. Who else is here? Show yourself. Oh, and I'm going to see, I didn't mention it, but I'm going to I mentioned that I'm going to oh, and Dallas says he's going to see Stephen Pierce this year. I would love to see Stephen Piercy. It's the closest we'll come to seeing Rat. And he sounds okay. Yes. Among the Joes, any plans to see Iron Maiden Future Past Tour? Not only plans, but actual tickets. I have physical tickets in my possession. I'm going with my nephew. I bought him a ticket for Christmas. So he and I will be going to see Iron Maiden. That's on November 20th this year. I saw them with my nephew, was it a year and a half ago in September 2022. That'll be my 12th, 13th Iron Maiden show. Yeah, so it's still a long time away. It's still 10 months away. But yes, I'm going to see the Future Past Tour, Photosol, Mexico. That's a big stadium. Oh yeah, so I start I'm getting so sidetracked here. Um, this Saturday, as I mentioned, I'm going to El Chopo. I'm going to see Venom Sabathi, which will also be, I've seen them a lot, 10 times, 11, 12 times. The impetus for that was first Venom. And then because it's on a Saturday, I've said this many times, I can't be in Mexico City on a Saturday and not go to El Chopo with one exception. There is an exception that's going to be coming up on February 24th, Saturday. I'll be in Mexico City on a Saturday, but I will not be going to El Chopo. Um, yeah, so Venom this Saturday, and I asked my friend to go. So before that, we'll go to El Chopo. Get your requests in now. That was part of the reason for this live stream was to get these any requests in. Dominic says good that I'm taking my nephew to good rock shows. Yeah, yeah. And actually he texted me a couple weeks ago and he knows Iron Maiden. I mean he's not like a super fan, but he's young. He's only how old is he now? 18, 17. I think he's turning 18. His birthday is March 1st. Is he going to be he was born in 2006, so he's going to be 18. Um what am I doing February 24th? It's a secret, but it won't be El Chopo. Yeah, so my nephew texted me a couple of weeks ago and he said, Where should I really start with Iron Maiden?" So I said, probably The Number of the Beast is not my personal favorite, although I love it. It's probably I would say it's my third favorite Iron Maiden record. But I think it is their signature album and the one I think it's a good starting point too. Um, yeah, I told him really realistically, it's probably best to avoid anything after Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. And I told him the first two are great, but I would say I told him I recommended to do those ones last, do the Bruce Dickinson era first. Yeah, Power Slave is my favorite for sure. Power Slave is a top 10 uh record of I hate saying of all time. Um of all of all the records ever, Power Slave is in the top 10 for me. Uh among the Joes, he avoids anything after Somewhere in Time. You don't like Seventh Son of a Seventh Son? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would go agree with Dallas. Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I like Seventh Son better than Peace of Mind for sure. Yeah, if you count the consecutive ones, then yeah, those three. If you count just the three, it would be Power Slave for me, one, Somewhere in Time, two, Number of the Beast, three, Seventh Son, four, probably the first record after that. Uh Among the Joes says Somewhere in Time was his favorite, but Power Slave became his actual favorite. Okay. Oh, Moonchild. My God, Moonchild is top five Iron Maiden song for me. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner is maybe my favorite song ever recorded by any band ever. It's a tough thing to say, but it's probably true. Um, Moonchild is maybe my second favorite Iron Maiden song. Incredible song, Moonchild. That brings the whole album up for me. Similar to what did I talk about recently? We Are Motorhead, the last song, We Are Motorhead, the title track from the album We Are Motorhead. That album's okay, but that song We Are Motorhead is so good that it brings the whole album up. Mike says he really loves Fear of the Dark. I never even heard that album. I heard obviously the title track. And was it that album that they had a song called Weekend Warrior? I think was Weekend Warrior on Fear of the Dark and Wasting Love. No, by that point I just never yeah, Maiden were gods. They still are now. I mean, I don't really like Senjutsu, but I I will always, always go see Iron Maiden. I can't say anything bad about Iron Maiden, even if I don't like them. Can't say anything bad. The B sides, Juanita, was that one? Um, Rainbow's Gold was no, Rainbow's Gold was a B side from Power Slave, right? Uh, what is this name? Burku. Burku? Burku Arslan Bulut. That's a Turkish name. So it's Borju. Everybody should know Borju. Dallas asked earlier what I'm doing February 24th. I will be doing something with Borju, and it won't be El Chopo. Borju is from Turkey, and she's coming to visit. A couple of things. Yeah, reach out. Yeah, that girl, reach out, and Juanita. Yeah, I have heard of all those. Adrian Smith sings. Is it Juanita that Adrian Smith sings? Mike says New World. No, not World, not New World Order. Brave New World, I think Mike is talking about. Unless you're talking about Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan. Juju. Um, yeah, Brave New World. Mm-mm. Brave New World. You know what? I think I know everybody loves that album, and I wonder is it really that good, or and I'll include myself in this group of people. Is it really that good, or was everybody just so excited that Bruce Dickinson and Adrian Smith were back that we were like hardwired to like it even before we heard it? Because I was very, very excited. At that point, I had given up on Iron Maiden 8 years prior to that. And by the way, ads will run shortly for some viewers in about 7 seconds. Not for Rockefeller over there, Rat Rock, who has YouTube Premium. I think are the ads over. So I do like Brave New World, but in retrospect, I don't like it as much as I thought I did at the time that it came out. Um, who asked somebody? Oh, favorite album? Oh my God, favorite Anthrax album? One that it's going back to Dallas's question, which I never answered. The one record that I would, it's hard to say. There are a couple that I would like. I kind of have categories about buying records. There are some that they're available, but they're just too expensive. And there are some that are just not available. And I guess the ones that are not available, I would love Among the Living, which is by far my favorite Anthrax record. And it's in my top 4 records in the history of music. It could be number 1. Among the Living, it's possible that Among the Living is my favorite record ever. Can anybody guess? If you've been paying attention, and you should have, some of you might know what I consider my top 4. Maybe I haven't talked about that much. Maybe some of you can guess. Um, there are really only 4 records that I could say this is my number 1. And dogs. And no, Kiss Alive doesn't count. Kiss Alive is my favorite record ever, for sure. But I'm talking about studio albums. Kiss Alive is better than anything. Good pick up there among the Joes. But so I would love Among the Living. I'd also love, I think Dallas knows this, the first Faster Pussycat record, also from 1987. Same as Among the Living, ATL. Testament. Oh, this dog. There's some people outside my house, and my dog for some reason has a big problem with that. Uh, let me see. Let me try to get caught up here. Oh, we're talking about Testament versus Anthrax. Rat out of the cellar. No, you know what? Rat for me is more like, and I think I talked about this with Dallas when I was out with him last month. Oh my God, this dog. Just a minute. Just a minute. So I got cats vomiting and dogs barking. Where was I? Oh yeah, I think Among the Joes was guessing that Out of the Cellar is among my favorite. No, it's Rat for me is more, and this is what I was saying. I think I talked about this with Dallas. Um, no, that's my other dog barking. Um, I consider Rat and Kiss is kind of like this too, more of like catalog bands. Like they don't, neither one of them has one album that stands out that I would put like, say, this is my, in my top 10 records ever. But as a catalog. Um, Among the Joes says a Metallic album would be there for sure. Yes, Master of Puppets is a contender for number one too. Yep. So we got two so far. Among the Living and Master of Puppets. There are two more. One of them I've done an episode of. I think when I was still doing CDs. Also 1987, same as Among the Living and Faster Pussycat. Did I miss something here? Dallas says Copperhead Road by Steve Earle. Now that's top 10. I don't think it's a number one. Pearl Jam too. Pearl Jam is more a catalog band. Although I did say when I talked about the 2006 Avocado self-titled album a month or 2 months ago, whenever that was, that was a very very big, very important album for me. That's possibly my favorite record of the last 20 years, Pearl Jam. But it's hard, something that came out much more recently. It's hard for me to consider that. I need a longer history. I need more attachment to it. But yeah, that Pearl Jam album, the Avocado album, it's definitely my favorite Pearl Jam album. By the way, they should have a new song out any day called Wrecker. That's kind of like inside info. Might be this week or next week. I think they're going to release two songs. They got a new album coming out that's apparently a real rocker. It's quite it's a lot more aggressive, I guess, than the last one, Gigaton. So something new for Pearl Jam. Among the Joes, he's reaching out. All right, I'll tell you my other two that are contenders for number one. There are four: Master of Puppets, Among the Living. The other one is a thrash album, and the other one is hair metal, cock rock, hard rock, whatever. Rain and Blood. Yep, Rain and Blood. So we got three. Among the Living, Master of Puppets, and Rain and Blood. No, that's a good guess. Shout the Devil. Shout the Devil is top 10 for sure. Maybe even top 5. That might round out the top 5. Bonded by Blood, no, good guess. Although I do love Bonded by Blood. Man, Shout the Devil. I fucking hate Motley Crue for some reasons. No. I like Shout the Devil way better than Too Fast for Love. Shout the Devil is, oh my God. I talked about that album a year or two ago. Unbelievable. Shout the Devil. It's amazing that there's an album that's so good by a band that turned out to be so, in the end, turned out to be so shitty. Good guess was Shout the Devil. Top 10. Diary of a Madman is top 10 also, but not a contender for number one. Oh, Rat is infinitely better than Motley Crue. I will say, and I think I talked about this at some point. I like Shout at the Devil better than any single Rat album. We already talked about Not Motorhead, not Van Halen. No. Among the Joes is kind of close. Oh yeah. So if you compare, as I said, Dancing Undercover is my favorite Rat album. Shout the Devil is I like way better than Dancing Undercover, but whole catalogs, Rat by far over Motley Crue. Not even close. Although Fair Warning, Van Halen Fair Warning is probably also a top 10. My other top 10s are, yeah, Diary of a Madman, Fair Warning, Power Slave, Shout the Devil. Um, I'm not sure. No, not no. Pyromania. No, 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 no. Pyromania is not even top 50, I don't think. I like it, but no, no, no. Leather Boys with Electric Toys, Pretty Boy Fled. That's actually a pretty good record. Um, Rock and Roll is going to set the night on fire. Um, The Last Kiss. Your Mama Don't Know. Um, yeah, that album's not bad. No, not Whitesnake. I don't really. I was never a Whitesnake fan. I the only Whitesnake I ever bought was the No, no, Mike is surprised that I like Leather Boys with Electric Toys. No, it's pretty good. Um, now Whitesnake, I got the self-titled 1987, as did everybody, and Slip of the Lip or Slip of the Tongue, whatever that album was called, which was not very good. But I never had anything else beyond that from Whitesnake. Big House, no, not Big House, not Spice Girls. Um, no, definitely not Poison. Oh my God, you guys are missing an easy one. It's one of okay, I'm gonna give you the biggest clue ever. Um, it's one of the biggest records ever. The other contender for my number one album of all time. One of the biggest records ever. You're gonna hear it on the radio. Probably at least two, three songs from it, probably every day. Not Back in Black. I Back in Black I like a lot, but no, no, no. Dallas is there. Yep. Dominic. Yeah. Appetite for an Onion is a contender for number one ever. Appetite for an Onion, Master of Puppets, Rain and Blood, Among the Living. Those are my top four. The order could change on any day, but I'm pretty sure those those are my top four. Yep. Yeah. Guns N' Roses. Another one, kind of like Motley Crue. Beyond, I mean, outside of Appetite for an Onion. So so. All right. Who do you like among the Joes? Who are your favorites? Or let's say favorite albums. Oh, and getting I didn't talk about this, and among the Joes can answer that. Some of you were talking about Testament versus Anthrax earlier. Um, that's a trap. It's my instinct to say Anthrax, but is that true? I just said very clearly, Among the Living is my favorite album ever, possibly. I love Spreading the Disease. Fistful of Metal, I was never, even though I got into them from Fistful of Metal, it was never a favorite. Persistence of Time. Um, some of that was great. Some of it I never really got too into. State of Euphoria was excellent, but looking back on it, it was a little bit uneven. I love the four John Bush albums, which I actually listened to today. Some of them. I was out on a walk today. I listened to Armored Saint, March of the Saint, and I listened to what I listened to today. Superhero from We've Come for You All. I listened to from Volume 8, The Thread is Real. I listened to Big Fat, Hogtied, Catharsis, Born Again Idiot. And from Stomp 442, I listened to King Size, Random Acts of Senseless Violence, King Size, in a Zone. Yeah, so I listened to some John Bush Anthrax today. Um, But the last 2, I know people really, really liked Worship Music and For All Kings, and I it's weird for me. I can't I don't dislike them, but I just never got into them. Don't know what it was. Um, Worship Music had maybe one of the great Anthrax songs ever, which was, In the End. I do have a Megadeth record coming up. Spoiler alert, I haven't talked about Megadeth yet. I have one over here. I'm pointing is what I'm doing. See? It's in the queue. A Megadeth record coming up. Uh, Crumbsuckers Beast on my back. I don't know if you noticed among the Joes, I wore a Crumbsuckers shirt in a couple of videos recently. I went to El Chopo, I think in the summer, and I was wearing a Beast on my back Crumbsuckers shirt. Ah, okay, yeah. All right. Among the Joes noticed that. Uh, what am I missing here? Among the Joes, likes John Bush more, Joey Belladonna. Um, you know what? It's similar to again, to rehash this. If I compared if I took my favorite Anthrax album, it's Among the Living. But if I took the rest of them, the John Bush era, the 4 John Bush albums, and the whatever Joey Belladonna, maybe I would take John Bush. I like them both though. And Luis is asking about Sammy Hagar from Van Halen. No, I don't care about him really. I'm Dave Lee Roth all the way. Anthrax, I love both. AC/DC, I love both. Van Halen, no, I'm David Lee Roth. Can anybody hear this? My dog's still barking. It was Guy at first, the son, the boy, and now it's his mother who's barking. Sound of White Noise. No, I'm the opposite. I thought Stomp 442 was way better than Sound of White Noise. I talked about that um when I did a little bit when I did Armored Saint, March of the Saint last week. I was a little bit disappointed. No, at the time that Sound of White Noise, I was kind of mixed on that. Overall, I do like it. I thought it had a weird sound. The guitars were weird on that album. But very good. Good songs for sure. Potter's Field is amazing. Um, Sodium Pentothal, This Is Not an Exit. I thought Stomp 442 is excellent. I mentioned earlier, a couple of minutes ago, Random Acts of Senseless Violence, King Size, In a Zone, Drop the Ball, American Pompeii. Excellent album. I love it. Yeah, I've seen DLR, David Lee Roth and Sammy going at it a little bit recent in last week, I think. Yeah, Eat 'em and Smile, man. Eat 'em and Smile is really, I mean, really should have been the next Van Halen record, right? After 1984. Yeah, Among the Joes says, yeah, the guitars sound weird. Yeah, but good songs. And going back to Among the Joes, Dark Angel, I was never into Dark Angel. My favorite Studio Kiss album. Um, that can go back and forth. I've said Love Gun more than anything else. Um, you know what? I'll make a claim. I was thinking about this a couple of days ago when I did the and you might need to pay attention for this. When I did the Kiss album rankings, I don't have my notebook with me. It's over here. I guess that was 2 or 3 years ago. I had the first 6, not in order, but I had, Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, Dressed to Kill, Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun. Those are my top 6. That was automatic. And then I had Gene's 1978 album at 7. And I'm not joking when I say this. Um, and I'm not being a contrarian either. The people that would say, The Elder is awesome or uh, Unmasked is awesome or anything like that. But I honestly, really, I can make a strong case for Gene Simmons' 1978 album being my favorite Kiss album. Really. Oh my God, it's so good. I love Gene and I love Aces too. They've always been pretty close. But there's just something about Gene's that really, really I like. Oh, I love Gene's album. No, I know Mike. Mike doesn't like jeans, but I swear to God, I'm not being one of those assholes who thinks Psycho Circus is better than Rock and Roll Over. Um, but really, man, Gene Simmons' album is just incredible. And I can, I can understand that people don't like it. It's different. It is some of it is very different. Um, it's not nearly as bad as Peter Chris's. Come on. Actually, speaking of that, give me about 23 seconds. I'm gonna go get something, a prop. I've got a prop to show. Just a second here. Ernesto. Ernesto says he loves Gene's solo album too. This is what I'm reading now. I assume Mike knows this. I don't know if anybody else. And this is a thick book. This is, I think, 545 pages. 540, yeah, 545 pages. Have you read this, Mike? Do you know it? Yeah, look at that. 545 pages of real Kiss nerd stuff. I'm about I'm on page, where am I? I'm on page 301 with my Ace Frehley sticker bookmark. And of course I have all four stickers, which I've been rotating about every 150 pages or so. I put the new. I started with Gene, and I think I did Paul, now Ace. But I'm on page 301 now. Well, it's not official in the sense that, yeah, I'd never heard of it either. I got it a couple of months ago. I mean, it's written by Julian Gill. Presumably, some of you know who Julian Gill is. He's like the Kiss nerd of Kiss nerds. Um, he's done a lot of these. It's not a, and you know what? I think sometimes just a minute. Hold on, I have another prop. Just a minute. Another prop. Rat Rock is talking about the new Getty Lee book. I guess it's just the Getty Lee book. Oh no, it is new. Yeah, because he had the big, beautiful book of bass. Um, I got this for Christmas. Haven't started it yet. One thing at a time. God, I bought like 8 or 9 books in Vietnam, and I've read 3 of them. And when I was in Canada 4 years ago, I also bought 7 or 8 books, and I've read, I don't know, 2 or 3 of those, and then I've read some other ones in between. Um, but anyway, yeah. So Julian Gill. Getting back to Among the Joes. Among the Joes asked if that's an official Kiss book. I think the unofficial ones are better. It's almost like bootlegs. People think that bootleg shirts are, lower quality. Um, Not true. This book is filled with excellent information. Yeah, Frank Bella's books. I remember that one too. I didn't read it, but I saw him on the Talk Louder podcast, and he's a nice guy. I like Frank Bella. Oh, and speaking of Anthrax, I have a cool prop to show you. Just a second. Does the book explain why Peter's album is actually good? Stop it, Mike. Just really, it's enough. Stop. Cool prop here coming up. If you give me a few seconds to find it. Here it is. Here's the prop. Here's a picture of me. You might recognize this. I'll hold it up if anybody can see it. Yeah, Scotty in with hair. And me with look at this. I have to say, look at the golden luster of my hair shining through when I was 17, and look at the golden luster of my hair shining through as I sit here tonight at 54. Yeah, I did have bangs. I'm gonna bang bang you. I'll shoot you down with my love gun, baby. Yeah, that was 1987. Scott Ian has the best eyebrows. He's got really thick eyebrows. He's a very he's got copious amounts of hair. I'm not sure if copious is the right word. It was in Canada. It was in Toronto. That's right. It was in the parking lot of Much Music. I think that's probably on YouTube. If you search for Anthrax, I don't know, like Toronto Much Music 1987 or something. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. I was actually there. If you look closely, you'll see me a couple of times, and at one point, you will hear me. How about that? Yeah, I've yes, Scott Ian. Yeah, he kind of bugs me now. He seems like he's just a total uh celebrity. You know, I guess good for him. But it seems like the only thing he cares about in life is hanging out with celebrities. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the one with skateboarding. Yep. Yeah, I'm in that video. And you can hear me. Yeah, I don't know if the whole video is up. There's one point where everybody is kind of moshing in the parking lot. And if you hear a guy yell out "war dance," that's me yelling out "war dance," and Scott Ian turns around and he starts laughing. Yeah, we were doing like a circle pit in the parking lot. And I met them that day earlier too. They did a record signing at a store called the Record Peddler, which was a record store across from Maple Leaf Gardens. And I got all my Anthrax albums signed, and I gave them all away to a friend called Jason Satterfield. He has them now. I guess he has them. What's the story here, Dallas? He says Anthrax sat beside me at a mall food court about 10 years ago. Frank and Scott did not seem to be happy humans. Scott seems to have disdain for a lot of people, especially non-celebrities. He seems kind of jerky. Yeah, Frank seems like a genuinely nice guy. Oops. Among the Joes says Frank and I text here and there on Instagram. He's been very kind to me. Must have been having a bad day. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, everybody has bad days. I'm having one right now. Um, yeah, no, I know, but yeah. Now, so Dallas says they just seem very sour with each other. Like, did they seem unhappy with each other, Dallas, uh, or with I don't know a situation somewhere? Just a second here. Sorry, being a bad host. Um, all right, just about being on tour. So that was 10 years ago. I would imagine it must have been miserable being in Anthrax around. They were really out of favor in the what mid to late '90s. I know it was later than that. If you said it was 10 years ago. Um, oh, Rad Rock says the same thing about typo. I never get into typo negative. Dominic, no, just no. Oh, for All Kings tour. Oh, Among the Joes is asking. You know who's a really, really nice guy? I don't know. I know Dallas is a huge fan, and I don't know if anybody is. I never get into carnivore either. I don't know if anybody else is into this guy or even knows who he is, but the nicest guy, and I mean genuinely nicest guy, not like, oh, he was such a cool dude, nothing like that, that I've ever met, at least in terms of musicians, is Frank Turner. Frank Turner is just so nice. I met him a couple of times. And I think the last time he played in Mexico, which was in 2019, he played in Mexico City. Then he was playing the next night in Guadalajara. And when he played in Mexico City that night, I had met him before. I'd met him the previous year, or I think it was the year before. And there are some. I know some people are huge Frank Turner fans, and so Frank said through somebody, he said, "Tell these people that they can stay." I guess he told like his manager, "Tell them to stay, and I'll come out and talk to them." There were a group of 5 or 6 or 7 of us, me and a couple of other ones, and he talked to all of us very nicely. Very, very nice guy. And then the next day, he was playing in Guadalajara, and I was flying to see him the next morning, and along with some of these other people. And so after the show, a bunch of people were line up. They wanted to talk to him, get a picture with him. There were a lot of people, maybe 40, 50 people. And I was kind of standing off to the side, kind of waiting. And there was a line forming. So Frank was meeting everybody and shaking their hands, taking a picture, and you know, talking for a few seconds to everybody. And he looked over and he saw me and he recognized me and he said, "Oh, Dan." And he told everybody in line, he said, "Hold on just a minute." And he walked over to me. He said, "Oh, Dan, I'm so happy to see you." And he gave me a big hug. Um, he was very, very thankful. And I've emailed him a couple of times and he's always replied. I have a Frank Turner tattoo. Frank Turner is just the nicest guy you can imagine. Dallas is going on about this food court thing. Alice Cooper. Yeah, I've always heard that Alice Cooper is a very nice guy too. And Dio, I guess, was also very nice. I prefer hearing stories about good things rather than people having good experiences than bad experiences. Yeah, Frank Turner is a gem. Very nice. Dio, I guess, has a good reputation. Um, I don't know who else. Dimebag, of course, did. Robert Plant, really? I've never heard. Not that I've ever heard anything bad about Robert Plant. He just seems like he would not be a nice guy to meet. Janie Lane, I like Warrant. A friend of mine met Lars long, long time ago in the early '90s. And, I can't remember what the circumstances were, but yeah, I think he had his wallet stolen or something, and somehow that came up in the conversation, and, Lars gave him 20 bucks. He said, "Here's 20 bucks if you need to take a taxi home or whatever you need," and he gave him 20 bucks, and you might think 20 bucks, but you didn't have to give him anything, and, yeah, he gave him 20 bucks. I know a lot of people don't like Lars, but, well, I mean, I guess for some different reasons, but personally, I've heard mostly good things about, people meeting Lars. The guy's an incredible memory. remembers people. Yeah, $20 was this was probably late, or I mean, late 80s or maybe early 90s, but still $20. Like I said, he didn't have to give him anything. Actually, my friend that I'm talking about that met Lars, it was Jason Satterfield, who I mentioned earlier, who I gave all my signed Anthrax records to. It was him that that Lars gave $20 to. Dog Eat Dog. I don't really like Dog Eat Dog. A friend of mine was trying to promote that to me 4 or 5 years ago, and I listened to it for the first time 4 or 5 years ago, and just I know everybody goes on about it, kind of like with the what else is like that? Kind of like an undiscovered gem. Um, but yeah, I didn't really like Dog Eat Dog. First two are excellent, Cherry Pie and Dirty Rotten Filthy Singing Rich. Yeah, Kip Winger and Lars. If you remember, I think it was a couple of years ago, Kip Winger said that Hetfield called him to apologize, which is kind of surprising and kind of cool too. Persistence of Time, signed by Frank. Yeah, everybody loves Dog Eat Dog. Was that after Cherry Pie? It was, right? Another one that people say that about is Skid Row, Subhuman Race. And I've still never heard a note of Subhuman Race. Best glam album in general. If I can ask among the Joes, how old are you? You're only 17. All right. Um, I can't say best. Well, like I said, Appetite for Destruction. I love. Yeah, maybe my other top. Yeah, Appetite for Destruction is number one. Two and three would maybe be the first Faster Pussycat album, and although the second one I could make the case for being just as good. Um, and the first Dangerous Toys album. Uh, I love the first two Bullet Boys albums, self-titled and Freak Show. Um, what are some other good ones? Cinderella Poison, Bon Jovi. Yeah, you know what? I have a Bon Jovi record over here that I'll be doing at some point. Um, LA Guns first. You know what? I didn't really like the first LA Guns album, although I did buy the LA Guns first album shirt last time I was at El Chopo. Um, LA Guns had such hype. Yeah, first Bullet Boys record is great. Second is great too. Um, when the first LA Guns album came out, there's a lot of hype because they were, kind of like the missing half of Guns N' Roses, and they were a Sunset Strip band. I was kind of disappointed, but Cocked and Loaded, which was the second one, to me is immeasurably better than the first LA Guns record. Yeah, Zaza is excellent. I think Zaza's for me that's just as good as Freak Show and the first one. Zaza is excellent. When Pigs Fly, Sing a Song, Slow and Easy, um, 1-800 Goodbye. Zaza is excellent. It's kind of like Detonator. I think by that point people had kind of given up, but fantastic. Bullet Boys were fucking awesome live. I saw them on that first album tour. It was the anniversary is coming up. It's February 3rd, I think. sometime in February, I think. 1980, must have been 89. They were really, really good. Yeah, Bullet Boys now are what a joke a lot of those guys have become. Apparently, Mark Torian is just a disaster to work with. Even now, he's just impossible to work with. Um, yeah, and also probably everybody's seen that Bullet Boys show from Philadelphia. I think around the same time from '89 around there. They were just amazing. Yeah, Mick Sueda's I think a great guitarist. All of them, Jimmy Danda and Lonnie Vincent. Yeah, Bullet Boys are excellent. I would love to get. I think I mentioned that earlier. That's any of those. Any of the first three, I would like to get on vinyl. They're not available though, as far as I may maybe could find them used. Um, Bang Tango, I never get into them either. I bought that first album. Was it Psycho Cafe? Was the name of the first Bang Tango record? Attack of Life was the first song. I never really got beyond. Another pretty good album was Spread Eagle. The debut album by Spread Eagle was excellent. Not quite hair metal. That was kind of like the next generation that was a little bit tougher, not as glammy as Bullet Boys, Cinderella, Poison. Um, yeah, Spread Eagle was good. They were more like Sea Hags, Dangerous Toys, um, Junkyard. They didn't sound like them, but kind of in that same style, a little bit tougher. Still long hair, but not glammy. Image oriented, but not glammy. Y&T is pretty good too. I do have a Y&T record over here that I will be getting to at some point. Um, Y&T, I don't know. Who else was like that? Keel. No, maybe I think I like Keel. There was never a one Y&T album that I loved. Every Y&T album had some awesome songs that I loved, but overall, there wasn't one Y&T album that ever stood out to me. I had In Rock We Trust, Open Fire, Contagious, 10, Roxy Blue. No idea about Roxy Blue. I remember the band, but I couldn't tell you a song by them. Baton Rouge or Shark Island. Michael Schenker was in Shark Island, right? And somebody from LA Guns? Who was in Shark Island? Babylon AD. I remember I had that. The Kid Goes Wild. I remember was the song on the Babylon AD. I had that record similar to XYZ was another one. XYZ, Babylon AD, Bang Tango. I had Rocks Gang. I had all the first records by all those bands, but never really got into them. Contraband. Yeah, that's right. Contraband was Blotzer, right? Blotzer, Michael Schenker. Who was in Shark Island? Richard Black. Yeah. Was Tracy Guns in Contraband? Ah, okay, so I'm on the right track then. Okay, yeah, the singer from Shark Island was in, I'm conflating uh Contraband and Shark Island. Just a second here. Ah, Cher Peterson, Vixen. Cher Peterson, Lorraine Lewis. Was she in Vixen? Oh, Femme Fatale. Oh, Love Hate, Blackout in the Red Room. Love Hate was excellent. Man, I was talking about them with who was I talking about them with recently? Was it you, Dallas? I think it was. Didn't one of them die from, femme fatale or a vixen, maybe in the recent years? Just a second here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, so I think I pieced them all together. Tracy Guns, Michael Schenker, Blotzer, Richard Lewis, what's his name? Richard Black, and, you know who I was talking about Love Hate with? Black on the Red Room with Chris McClernand from Saigon Kick. A couple of months ago, yeah, because he said Saigon Kick played a show with, Love Hate in LA in, like, 1991 or 92 or something. Yeah. Oh, guitar player from Vixen died, okay. Oh, and you know what? Shit, God, I'd have to scroll back. I apologize to whoever it was. I saw this is like half an hour ago. Somebody said that they're going to El Chopo this Saturday and they hope to see me. And I does any is are you still there? Whoever said that, are you still there? Let me try to scroll back up and see who said that. And I was distracted doing something else. Maybe it was when I was kicking the dog's ass, not literally. I apologize to, and it just popped into my head. I apologize to whoever it was that said that I didn't reply. I'm scrolling back up. I don't see who it was. Well, whoever it was, if you're still listening, um, if you see me at El Chopo, say hello. Firehouse. What about Firehouse Rat Rock? Are you talking about how much they suck? Jorge, there it is. Okay, Jorge is there. So let me focus on Jorge for a minute here. So let me hear it again, Jorge. You said you are going to El Chopo this Saturday. Did I get that right? Now hold on. When you say next Saturday, you're talking about this Saturday. This is like a Seinfeld thing with the parking guy. January 27th, this Saturday coming up. 27th. Okay. Well, I will be there, Jorge. I will be there on the 27th. Um, when I was there last month with Dallas, we were there for God, how long were we there for 6 hours? Dallas, I think it was 5 or 6 hours. I don't know if it'll be that long this time. But I will be there this Saturday, the 27th. I haven't made plans in terms of time yet. I would imagine I'll probably be there sometime around noon, around there, and probably at least for I don't think I've ever been there shorter than 2 hours. So keep an eye out for me and say hello and remind me of who you are, Jorge. And I hope to see you. Electro Cyberpunk. He says when you're traveling to Canada, do videos around. I said, are you asking me, Electro Cyberpunk? When am I traveling to Canada? I don't know when I'll be in Canada again. It's been 4 years since I've been there. Um, don't know when I'll go back. Probably not this year. I kind of want to and I kind of don't. And if next time I do go back to Canada, it will be in summer because I haven't been in Canada in the summer since 2012. I was there in 2015 in April and October, also 2015, and then in there in the winter in 2019. So it's been a long time since I've been in the summer. Um, Borju is asking, how many T-shirts do you usually buy in El Chopo? Interesting question, and I feel like it's a trap. Um, Usually, oh, there's an ad. Anybody recognize that? That was the waiting music while the ads played on YouTube. Uh, it's hard to say how many T-shirts do I usually buy in El Chopo. Believe it or not, I think there was one time that I didn't buy any. There might have even been more than one time that I haven't bought any. I always buy something. Um, when I was there last time with Dallas last month, I bought. Did I buy four? I bought a Rod Stewart shirt. I bought LA Guns at Necrosis. We'll call that El Chopo. What else did I buy? Dallas. Uh, and Dallas kind of knows Borju, and Borju kind of knows Dallas through me. They've never talked to each other, but I've mentioned each one to the other. What did I buy? LA Guns, Rod Stewart. I bought a Kiss shirt. So 3 or 4 last time. I don't know if I'll buy any this time. Buy more LP vinyl records at Chopo, uh, and T-shirts. If I, yeah, I did buy some records. I bought the Paul Stanley 1978 album. I bought Motorhead Rock and Roll. I bought Kiss Hot in the Shade and the Rat EP, which I just did um, a video for a couple days ago. That will be up on Friday. There's a spoiler alert for everybody. I mentioned that to Rat Rock when it was just when he was the only one in here. And Dallas knows that too. Rat EP episode coming up on Friday. Hiking video tomorrow, by the way. I did a huge hike yesterday in the snow. You're going to see a very cold, snowy video of a almost 17,000 foot hike yesterday. It was over 16,000, very cold, maybe even below zero at some points. A lot of snow. Volcano hike. Stay tuned for that tomorrow, and the Rat EP episode on Friday. So to answer Borju, how many T-shirts do you usually buy? It varies. I think I've bought as many as I went there once with a couple of friends some years ago. One from Australia, one from England, and it kind of became almost like a competition. I think I bought about 6 shirts. My friend Damien bought, God, I think he bought about 15. Uh, Dynasty, no, Ernesto, I bought Dynasty at El Chopo last year, maybe in the summer last year. That was an old one. Um, Electro Cyberpunk says more LP reviews. They're coming. I'm doing them as fast as I can, which sometimes is too many. There's a lot more to come. The album, if you call them reviews. I want to go back to Borju. Everybody leaves so I can just talk to Borju. Yeah, does anybody want any do you want some inside information on what albums I will have coming up? I don't know when, but that I have sitting over here. The War Dance chant didn't make the cut. All right, I'll have to watch that. Maybe it's not. It was pretty long. That was like a 1 hour thing. I guess minus commercials, it was probably around 40 minutes. Um, Maybe it's in there somewhere. Maybe there's just sections of it on there. Right. All right. What can I tell? I won't tell them all. Um, Looking at them now, I've got. Well, you probably know some of them. My friend Miguel gave me some records when he was here a couple months ago. Red Hot Chili Peppers Return of the Dream Canteen. I'll do that. All right, I'll look for that later. I'll try to remember to look for that later among the Joes. I still have about 10 or 11 Motorhead records. And that is one of the things I want to do at El Chopo. I bought Motorhead Rock and Roll there last month with Dallas for incredible price, brand new, way cheaper than Amazon, way cheaper than Amazon. So I want to go back to that guy and see if he's got a couple of other Motorhead records that I want. I still have, I think, about 5 Judas Priest. I think about 4 AC/DC, 3 Cadaver. I think 3 or 4 Slayer. Another Keel. I did the Right to Rock, but I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. There's another Keel record to do. Couple of surprises. I do have another Police record also to do. I did Synchronicity about a month ago. I've got another Police record to do. Couple of big surprises. At least one, I think, big surprise. Still some bands that I haven't talked about. I'm kind of looking at them here now. I've got a couple of rap or hip hop records that I'm going to talk about that I haven't got to yet, by two classics by 2 different artists that are, to me, I'd put those up against, just about anything else that I listen to. What else have I got there? Some classic rock from the 70s. A couple of other bands that I haven't talked about yet, that I've yet to talk about. I'll leave it at that. And it's going to take me like a year to get through these. I'm doing, 2 a week, maybe 3 a week sometimes. I don't know. And by the way, does anybody know why nobody watches my videos? Is it that I just don't have maybe I'm not as charismatic as I think I am, not as attractive as I think I am. Maybe my audio sucks. Maybe my background sucks. Maybe I don't tell people to like the videos and share them and leave a comment down below. I don't tell people to smash the like button. Oh my God, Kirk Desmond. I was wondering, Kirk, where have you been? I think I've name checked you a couple of times in recent episodes. I haven't heard from you for a while. Mike Pratt, Kiss Alive, Kiss Unplugged. Yeah, I am. I actually really want to do that. And I'm hoping I don't have that on vinyl. I would like to get it on vinyl. And it's available on Amazon. It's just it's out of my price range. I think it's around 60, $70. There's no way I'm spending that much. I'm looking forward to doing Unplugged, the best Unplugged ever. And I wasn't expecting too much from Kiss at that point. That turned Kiss around for me. No, not Pico de Orizaba, but Iztaccíhuatl. It was really cold yesterday. That'll be up tomorrow. It's a good one, I think. So getting back to my videos, why am I not a sensation? Dallas and I talked about this a little bit. Seriously, some of my videos get like 20 views. And looking back on them, when I do a lot of the videos, I just copy and paste the title. Like, I want to talk about this album episode, blah, blah, blah. I just change the episode number and the obviously the band and the album. And so sometimes I have to search for it I was looking when I was titling the hiking video that I uploaded today, which will be live tomorrow. I searched in my YouTube studio for Iztaccíhuatl, and I saw some of my old hiking videos, and they used to get like, some of them got over 1,000 views. Like they were averaging 600 to 800. Now they get like 50. It's rare, super rare that I break 100. And when I used to do the records, even a couple years ago, those used to get, I got over 1,000 once. The Mad Season episode above got over 1,000. And now it's getting tougher to break 100. I don't know if it's that YouTube is not recommending me. I don't know what is. Saigon Kick interview had bad sound. Yes, it did have bad sound. That was very disappointing for me. And I tried fixing that. One of my friends actually tried to fix it up, but he couldn't do it. Jason McMaster emailed me about that. He actually sent me a long, very lengthy, very, very thoughtful email to me kind of explaining, how to avoid that or, gave me some tips, which was cool of him. And I will be talking to Jason soon about a Dangerous Toys record. Um, yeah, Mike says, yeah, but it's not just the time of year. It's been like this for months and months that I'm just getting, dozens of views instead of hundreds and like getting thousands. Even the last El Chopo was always good for at least 2,000 views. Some of my El Chopo videos have, I think, 20, 30, maybe 40,000 views. And even the last one I did, maybe it's because I was with Dallas, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I think that only got a few hundred. Um, I don't know. Ratrock says the more you post, the more they push you. Keywords in the titles. I have all the keywords. I mean, I put, Kiss Love Gun or Saigon Kick Water. I don't know. And Mike says, because I don't have regular programming, posting daily content. I don't know if people post daily content on YouTube, maybe TikTok. I know I've never used TikTok. Um, yeah, see, I'm getting conflicting things. Mike says I should post, I'm not posting regularly, and Kirk says I'm posting too much. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. And to be honest, I don't care too much. It is puzzling to me. Like I wonder why was I getting um, 6 to 800 views a couple of years ago, and now I'm getting honestly, I think Judas Priest, one of the Judas Priest I did got like 28 views. Um, I don't know, man. YouTube is a hard thing to figure out. Yeah, and if I just do once a week, um, God, these videos will be going up for years. Um, there's a guy. Does anybody know this guy? Maybe we've talked about him before on a live stream. He has a channel called Almost Human. Does anybody know this guy from Florida or Florida? Yeah, maybe more competition now. That's true too. It's everybody's spreading themselves too thin, maybe. So about this guy, Almost Human, um, he sometimes posts 2 or 3 videos in a day. Like he has something he posts Kiss videos on Wednesday. He calls it Kiss Wednesday, and he does Black Sabbath Sunday. And he's kind of weird because he'll sometimes post 2 or 3 videos in a day, but then he'll say, "Oh, I didn't have any Black Sabbath videos to post today." And I thought, well, you posted 2 or 3 the week before on one day. Why not spread them out? Um, but I'm not trying to be popular. I'm not trying to get into the algorithm. Um, I mean, I basically I do the videos and I put them up. It's rare. Like now, I do have a little bit of a queue, um, but I don't know how much that helps. Maybe it does. Ernesto says write the name at the front. I don't know if that matters. I don't know if I put Rat Out of the Cellar, I want to talk about this album. I don't know if that's different than saying I want to talk about this album, Rat Out of the Cellar. I don't know if that could be maybe people's eyes are maybe catching it more, but in terms of the actual algorithm order, I don't think word order makes a difference. Um, Same what they say that hashtags. YouTube actually tells me in the YouTube studio, hashtags don't make a difference on YouTube. Maybe on Twitter and some social media, but apparently on YouTube. Rat Rock found you. I came up in his feed years ago. Mike was doing a deep dive on Kiss stuff, and I popped up. Yeah, and also I've talked about this with Dallas. I watched a video last week. It was a guy, kind of a young kid. He looked like he was a teenager. He had a dirt mustache. Maybe he was in his early 20s, and he did all the Kiss records and ranking them. And he has like 300 subscribers. I have 11,500. He has 300. But that video had like 5,000 views. And I don't know why. And to some extent I don't care, but it is curious. Um Saigon Kick is not exactly a household name. Well, that's true. Saigon Kick is not a household name, but Judas Priest is, and AC/DC is, and Motorhead and Iron Maiden are, and some of these videos still get 40 views, 50 views. I did Love Gun a month or month and a half ago. I think that got like 40 views. I'll never be rich. I'll never be famous. Yeah, Taylor Swift, good example. Taylor Swift. Dallas and I talked about this. Um, I did the merch tour at her thing, and Paul McCartney too. It got like 1,000 views. You'd think if people were going on YouTube and putting Taylor Swift Mexico. Now I guess I'm just not showing up. I don't know why, but maybe I just need to be shared to the right place. Um, I don't know. But yeah, Taylor Swift and Paul McCartney, I think, didn't even get 1,000 views. Paul McCartney, for God's sakes. He was in the Quarrymen. Everybody knows him. Yeah, Kirk says, break my number one rule. Say, hey guys. I will never say, hey guys. Never. Never. I just can't imagine saying that. Comment below. I say it occasionally, and I kind of say it a little bit mockingly. Yeah, people definitely have a short attention span for sure. Yeah, people don't want to watch videos more than a minute. Um, I like watching these long videos. The things that I do. I have seen other ones. Um, I watched some Motorhead ones last week, ranking Motorhead rankings. Um, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll do this El Chopo video on Saturday, and like I said, that was always good. Even like a year or 2 years ago, that was good for at least over 1,000, a couple thousand. Let me see my last El Chopo visit with Dallas. That was almost a month and a half ago. Let me just check here. Uh, and I used to also get like a lot of subscribers. I rarely get subscribers anymore, new subscribers. Um, but I'm not going to tell people to ring the bell or like, I just don't see myself doing that. Let me see. All right. Kiss Lick It Up has 39 views. Motorhead, We Are Motorhead, 32. Synchronicity by the Police has 100. Now, this is weird. Hellbent for Leather has 289. Now, I know 289 is not setting the world on fire, but why does Hellbent for Leather have 289 and nothing else even has 100? The El Chopo and El Chopo video with Dallas from a month and a half ago has 285 views. That should have a couple of thousand. A couple of questions here. Does El Chopo have Taylor Swift posters or merch? No, I don't think so. You might see one, you know, guy selling Taylor Swift something, but generally not. You're not going to see Taylor Swift there. Um, do I get any money from YouTube commercials? I get almost nothing. I used to get way, way, way more, like around 6, 7 years ago, when I had way, way, way fewer subscribers, way fewer views, way fewer videos, way fewer everything. I used to average about $1 a day, about $30 a month, which is pretty good for really doing nothing. And that was when I wasn't even doing these, regular ones. That was, I might just do a few videos in a year. Um, and then YouTube 6 or 7 years ago, they changed the way they made a point about this. They changed the way they distributed the money. They were giving, I think it used to be much more equal. And then they pretty much said, like, to people like me, "Yeah, here's your scraps because we're gonna give more money to the bigger channels." Um, yeah, 10 times more content creators. Yeah, for sure. YouTube since COVID definitely exploded. Everybody's on YouTube now. Um, by the way, my channel is coming up on 18 years old. I started my channel on March. I don't know, can't remember the date, but it was March 2006. Almost 18 years old. It's almost legal drinking age in Quebec. Um, yeah, these days, actually, I'll tell you exactly. I'll tell you. I don't care. They do it by 28 days. In the last 28 days, and I think Dallas knows this, or maybe he doesn't. Anybody want to guess how much I've made in the last 28 days? Put your guesses down below. In US dollars, how much money do you think I've made in the last 28 days? Give let's hear your predictions. How much money have I made? This is from YouTube ad. They don't specify, how much of it comes from YouTube Premium or commercials, ad sharing, whatever. All right, Kirk says 15, Ernesto says 10, Mike says 350. You if I Dallas Dallas is way off. If I took Kirk's 15 and Ernesto's 10 and Mike's 350, that's pretty close to an average. The last 28 days I've made $7.49. That's it. 7.49. Yeah. And 6 years ago I was making at least I was 30 bucks a month. Um so it's like yeah, it's almost nothing. I remember 1 month alone, this was when I saw Iron Maiden, I think it was in 2016. I made $240 in one single month. 240 bucks in 1 month, which in Mexico, that's incredible. That's my rent is far less than that. Well, back then it was far less. It's less now. Yeah, 240 bucks in 1 month. And I'll tell you in my lifetime in these 18 years, I'll tell you this, I don't care. $3,875.18. That's how much, which is pretty good. I mean, like I said, really for doing nothing. I didn't make any money until around, I don't even know, 10 years ago, maybe like the first 8 years I had the channel, I made zero. Um, Hold on a sec. My single biggest day was somewhere, I don't know, I can't remember. No way. I'm not kidding. $6.66. No joke. $6.66. If I think that's my biggest day ever. But yeah, 240 bucks was my best month ever. Yeah, proof that I do it by pleasure. It's definitely not for money. Yeah, $6.66. Incredible. Um, in a day. No, it's definitely not for the money. It's for you guys. And I can't imagine I will ever do, hey, there's Blue Flyer. Nice to see him. Um, I don't think I'll ever do, super chat or how else can you make money on YouTube? You know what? This guy I mentioned earlier, this guy Almost Human that does these, Kiss videos and Black Sabbath, whatever. He takes requests and he doesn't charge, but people make donations. He has a PayPal. I have no idea how much people donate. I don't know if he has like a minimum, like if you don't donate more than $10, he won't do a video request. Um, I don't think I would ever do that. I like doing it. To be honest, it would be nicer. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate that expression. It would be nicer if you know hundreds of people or thousands of people are watching. It would be nice to know that, or cool, I guess, to think that. But I'm not gonna say, "Hey guys," just so more people will watch. But I do appreciate when people make comments or like this when people come and do this live chat. It warms my cockles. Raining in San Diego. I saw it. Didn't they get 3 days in a row of rain in LA over the weekend or last week? Or maybe still going on now? Mike says, we appreciate you still doing this since you don't make much. Well, thank you. It is nice to hear that. We had rain here Sunday night. That was why the volcano was covered in snow yesterday, was because it rained here really hard on Sunday night, which there on the volcanoes falls as snow. And yeah, it was pretty good. That was the first rain we'd had in I guess about 6 weeks. And it rained. Actually, it didn't rain when Eric picked me up. We left at 6:30 in the morning yesterday, and I left my house at 6 o'clock. Eric picked me up at 6:30, and I asked him, "You get that rain last night?" And he said, "No," and he lives in Cuernavaca, same as me, but it rained really hard where I live for about 15, 20 minutes, and he didn't get a drop. But it rained on the volcanoes. Well, it rained in that area, snow on the volcanoes. And Rat Rock also says that he enjoys the videos. Thank you. Thank you. And I wish I had a better mic for the videos. Um, I did buy a lapel mic a year, maybe 2 years ago or something, and I tried it for a bit. I thought it didn't sound very good, but when I do those videos, I really yell. I talk very loud. I think I have a loud voice to begin with, but I'm standing about I don't know, a meter and a half away from the camera, and yeah, it's quite loud, and the sound I know is not that good. It could be much better, but I don't want to invest too much. Um, as I said, it is a hobby, and I don't want to get too deep into it. How are the dogs doing? Ah, yeah, I think you asked before, Radrock. Somebody did, and I missed it. Um, they're happy. I don't know if I am. They're I never want the dogs. I love dogs more than anything, but I never want dogs because it's too much responsibility. Um, just a minute. Just a minute. I put this kiss book down in the cat vomit. Remember I mentioned earlier the cat vomited? I put the book down in it. Um, all right. Ah, Saul Rosenberg. The dogs are doing well. They're I think they're pretty much officially, unofficially mine. Like I'm pretty much at the point that if I ever move from here, the dogs have to come with me. They're not street dogs anymore. Guy, he hasn't left my he hasn't been unleashed, untethered outside since March last year when he had that horrible accident when he was horribly bleeding. Um, his mother has calmed down and she's always around. She's still free to come and go, but she stays out of trouble. They bark a lot. They cost me a lot of money. God, it's expensive that, and I can't afford to take care of dogs. I would love to spend that money on something else. Um, but yeah, I'm at the point now. They're my dogs. Uh, let's see. Ken Nichols O'Keefe, a newcomer. I've never heard or seen this name. He says, Nice to see you. I think you can make more money if I do things like promoting the US government, the state of Israel, that kind of garbage, 100% sure. Not sure about that. Not sure what I would do that. All right, Ernesto, I think he's saying he's got to go. Love the videos. Keep doing it. Oh, thank you, Ernesto. Thank you for coming. Burju is back. She says I don't say literally either. There are certain words that I avoid. Literally is one of them. I'm not going to lie is another expressions. Thank you, Ernesto. See you. Have a good night. Um, yes, Burju is right. I don't say literally. And that's intentional to not say literally. Now I have a question. I want to ask Burju. Um, Burju, are you there? Are you there? Hello, Burju. What do you think about Kiss? Because I talk about Kiss a lot on this channel, so I'm just wondering what you think of Kiss. And Blue Flyer says, I'm getting tired of Ellie Goulding because she's just doing the same thing, stalking me since 2014. Maybe I should ramp it up on the sensationalism. I have no idea what any of those words mean. I know what they mean as individual words, but I don't understand the context. Love Dio? Are you talking about Dio? Ronnie James Dio? Okay. Yes, to Dio. I was waiting on Bourdieu to post her thoughts about Kiss. Maybe she's away. Is the party dying? Is this when everybody's reaching for their coats? Maybe this is why my channel is dying. Maybe I don't I don't have the staying power. Last in line. That's Vivian Campbell. Uh Jimmy Bain died some years ago. Who else is in last in line? Oh, Mike is being a wiseacre. He says he's going to listen to "Let Me Rock You" by Peter Criss. You know what? Maybe I have the Peter Criss record. Maybe I will do that at some point. All right. Thank you, Mike, as always. Thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, Vinny. I think it's Carmine Appice and Vinny Appice, no? Or Appice? Appice? Don't they pronounce their their own name differently? No, Mike, it's not a good one. It's not even close to being a good one. Yeah, I know they're brothers, but they they pronounce their own surname differently, each one, right? Carmine goes by Apis, and Vinny goes by Apici. Apici? All right. I'm still waiting for Burju's thoughts about Kiss. I would like to know what Burju would think about Peter Criss's 1978 album. Dallas is cleaning the house like a good girl. Where's Lisa? All right, Blue Flyer doesn't like Kiss. Burju says she loves Kiss. I'm not sure if that's true or not because she's got a funny emoji there. I think that means maybe that she's not being forthright with me. Um, oh, she's in Texas. Lisa's in Texas visiting family. Okay. All right. So Burju claims to be a Kiss fan. This is dead time. I'm uh Ken Nichols O'Keefe says I used to have a who's and I can't read, there's a word missing because it's blocked by the on my screen, there's something blocking it. He says somebody needs to post something else so I can read Ken Nichols O'Keefe comment. He says I used to have a who's something was a huge fan of Kiss, but I'm missing a crucial piece of information. Oh, and I think I'm going to have a couple of more guests on the show to talk about some records, guys that are in bands, and I will talk about their records with them. I think there are two I'm going to do. It's not. Oh, I used to have a friend who was a huge fan of Kiss. He says, um, yeah, it's not Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, or it's not. Uh, you know, Phil Campbell or Rob Halford or anything, but I will have some guests coming up. Blue Flyer just found out Bon Scott died in 1980 this year. I didn't know. Still, I'm still not sure what that means. He died in early 1980 because I think not I think Back in Black came out in 1980. So Bon must have died in January or February of 1980. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Blue Flyer saying this is impossible. You just found out that I misread the comment. You just found out this year that Bon Scott died in 1980. Um, Rat Rock. Rat Rock is saying any specific albums you were talking about with Gas about. They're going to be guys that the records I'll talk about will be with guys who played in the band. One I mentioned earlier is Jason McMaster. Another one is going to be these other ones nobody knows. Rusty Eye, great band name, Rusty Eye. I'm going to be talking about a Rusty Eye album with the singer for Rusty Eye, singer bass player. Um, Also look for a band called Muscle Car. I will be. I haven't talked about this, but yeah, that might be a couple of months from now. But yeah, maybe I can branch out and and get some more guests on the show. I got to remember to maybe do better if I stayed closer to the mic all the time instead of getting lazy and going back here. Does this sound different than this? It sounds different in my headphones. This sounds much better. This also sounds sexier. It does sound better when I'm close to the mic. Well, it should. Just a second. No, there's no way I believe that you just learned in 2024 that Bon Scott died in 1980. Oh, look at this. Rat Rock is referencing Bourdieu. He says Bourdieu just fainted. Bourdieu will be appearing in some upcoming videos. Oh, from the sexy voice, huh? Maybe. I think Bourdieu will be in some videos coming up. Live videos, not uh, video chat, but in person. Stay tuned for that. That's still a month and a half away, maybe, but I believe she will be making at least 2 appearances, I think. Ken Nichols O'Keefe. He says, I listened to some albums, but later I found out about the Jewish guy. Don't know what Jewish guy. Simons. Don't know who that is. Israel 9/11. Okay. Just a minute here. It's not the way you rock, it's the way that you roll. It's not the way you rock. It's the way that you roll. What should be something I know. Who is that? It's not the way. Oh, Dirty Looks. I was never into Dirty Looks. I know Cool from The Wire. Actually, you know what? One of the first CDs I ever bought was Dirty Looks. Um, the first CDs I remember buying, there were 3. The Ace Frehley 1978 album. Yeah, that's right. Jason sings with Dirty Looks now. Um, the Ace Frehley 1978 album, Lord Tracy, Deaf Gods of Babylon, and the Dirty Looks. I think it was the not Cool from The Wire. What was the first one? Those are the first 3 CDs I remember having, but I never get into them. So, like we talked earlier about, Bang Tango and Babylon AD and Rocks Gang, the bands that I just never get into. Dirty Looks was one of them. Turn of the Screw, that was the one it was. Yeah. Yeah, Jason is a busy guy. He fills in, I guess, somewhat, a few times a year, I guess, for Dirty Looks. Last year, I remember he did Armored Saint. He filled in Accept. He still does Dangerous Toys and Broken Teeth. Broken Teeth is writing or recording new music. He's busy with Watchtower, quite busy, I think, with them in the last few months. I think they just did a show last weekend. They're doing a show or shows or a festival in Germany, or maybe they, no, I think they did Germany a few months ago. Yeah, he's a busy guy, Jason. Dio, We Rock. I love that song. Yeah, I watched that too, Talk Louder. I was on Talk Louder. I don't know if you know that Rat Rock. I was on his podcast, a couple of years ago. That was 2.5 years ago when it was, I think I was on around episode 40 or 50, somewhere around there. I guess when they were still, looking to, looking for guests. I guess they were scraping the bottom of the barrel. I don't think I would ever be on that podcast at this point. Yeah, man, they've had a lot of good guests. They've had Frank Bello a couple of times, Charlie Benante, um, John Gallagher from Raven, Tracy Guns, I think, is on this week. Um, Dan Lilker was on a couple of weeks ago. Mm, yeah, they've had some pretty good names on there. Danko Jones, I think, was one of the early ones. Oh, an ad coming up in about 54 seconds. How long am I growing my hair out? I don't know. Um, don't know. I haven't had it cut. It's I mean, this long part I haven't had it cut for, I think, about a year and a half. I get the sides shaved every, I don't know, 6 weeks to 8 weeks. Um, I have a feeling it's gonna be all gone pretty soon. Maybe once it starts to get hot around February, March. Um, maybe I'll just get it cut. It's hard. It's not, it can't really look much longer because it's all the length comes from here. So I don't know. Yeah, it probably won't go. It probably won't last much longer. Jet Boy, that was Sammy Yaffa, right? Was that the guy with the mohawk, Sammy Yaffa in Jet Boy? I know Sammy Yaffa was in Jet Boy, and I know there was a guy with a mohawk in Jet Boy. I can't remember if that was him or not. I think it was the singer. This Sammy Yaffa was the bass player. No, it was Jean Beauvoir. Remember him? That had a hand in some Kiss records, at least Animalize. That was in Plasmatics. Jean Beauvoir. Can't remember. Voodoo X and Crown of Thorns. Don't think I've heard of either of those bands, Voodoo X or A Crown of Thorns. Ah, you know what? There is a show coming up here in. Oh, I'm going to see Madonna too, by the way. I have Madonna tickets. There was supposed to be, I think it was around this time originally. I think it was around, she was doing like 5 shows in Mexico City at the big arena. It's like 22,000 a night. It was supposed to be this month. And you remember she got sick a couple of months ago, so they postponed the whole thing. I'm going to see her in, I think it's in April now. And then I think also in April, I had to write down some of my concerts in a document here because some of the dates were, I thought some of the dates were starting to overlap. So I had to write them to keep them straight. There's my part of my concert schedule coming up. Yeah, Madonna. This doesn't include Venom Sabathi coming up this Saturday. And what else is missing from here? Yeah, I was gonna say there's a show here. I can't remember when it is. I think it's in April. It's Anthrax, Overkill, Death Angel, Amorphous. Is that a band? Um, I don't think I'll go to that. I love all those bands, but why don't see Taylor? I missed my chance. She wants to see me more than I want to see her. Yeah, I don't is that a typo? I'm sure it is. Is it amorphous? Yeah, I'm sure it is a typo. Yeah. Uh yeah, amorphous. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, I know the name, don't know anything about them. Doom metal from Finland. That is not my thing. That's not appealing to me. Actually, let me check that. Uh More dead time. God, I'm so bad. Here it is. Uh Nope, nope, nope. Just a second. I just got something that I have to take care of here. Just a second. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. What a rude host I am. Uh, Ah, is everybody bailing on me? God, I'm so rude. Okay, let me see if I missed anything. Oh, let's see. We got who do we got here? I missed a few things. Sammy Yafu's in Hanoi Rocks. Yeah, why did I think he was in Jet Boy? Um oh, Rat Rock is leaving. Thank you, Rat Rock, for your participation. Fantastic. Good contribution. See ya. Have a good night. Kirk is still here. We're down to 4. Oh, he was in Jet Boy. Okay, okay, that's what I thought. How about God, there's only God, who's there's 3 people here. I guess Kirk, Dallas, and Ray. Is Blue Flyer still? There's only 3 people left. Um Hanoi Rocks versus Saigon Kick. Classic question. I was just gonna say, should I call it a night? And then somebody else joined. Who's here now? Dallas, Kirk. All right, Dallas is out now, so I think we're gonna be down to just a few now. I think just Kirk. Yeah, it's 10:30 for Dallas. Thank you, Dallas, as always. We'll talk soon. I can't see the number you wrote here, Kirk. There's a heart emoji that I guess I'm supposed to use. Let me click on that heart and see what happens. It's okay. Uh, 16. We started at 3,940 meters, which is, let me ask Mr. Google, 3,940, 3,940 meters to feet. We started at, yeah, we started at 12,926 feet, 13,000 feet. And we got up to, we were at 4740 meters. We got up to 15,551 feet. Yeah, so we went up. God, I just did that, but I forgot how much. So we vertically climbed 1551. Whoops. 1551. Let me do some math here. Minus. So we gained vertically, we went up 2,625 feet in just pure elevation. Um, and that was over the course of, it's not that long. Like the distance was probably only one way is probably 3 kilometers. Kirk hiked across the Grand Canyon in the fall, 5,000 down. Yeah. But I mean, what was the maximum altitude at the highest point that you were at the Grand Canyon, above sea level? How many is that? Is that 5,000 feet above sea level? Or I guess you went down 5 and then back up 5, right? How long did that take, Kirk? Was this a day hike, an overnight, or what? 2 nights. And where did you sleep? You take, tents with you? Or is there some kind of accommodations down there? Did you have a mule carrying all the stuff? 12 hours now, okay. Okay. Did you see any wildlife down there? I have no idea what HOKA is, or Hoka? Is it Hoka? I guess Hoka? What is that? That's a brand? Let me Google Hoka sneakers. Hoka sneakers. Oh, okay. I see them now. They just look like Skechers, no? Fly human fly. Let me see these. Oh, they're not cheap. I see 145 bucks. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking at some of them now. Never heard of that brand. And what about Kirk? Are you coming for the baseball games, the MLB games this year? No. And another question for you, Kirk. Does it bother you, as it does me, when people call it the MLB? And this is a new thing. I've only seen this in the last year or two. When you see people talking about it online, they'll say, this guy is the best pitcher in the MLB, as if you're saying the best quarterback in the NFL or the NHL or the NBA. It's horrible. It's not the MLB, it's just MLB. Have you noticed that? And does it bother you as it does me? Any good shows coming up? Maiden at the end of the year. That's not until November. Um, Exciter. Yeah, I don't know why people talk like that. Exciter in March. Madonna in April. Bruce Dickinson. I'll see Bruce Dickinson twice. I'll see him solo in. Let me check the date. Was it March 20th? Let me see here. Bruce is on. God, April 20th, and then Maiden on November 20th. 7 months apart. I'll see Bruce twice. Metallica still, Metallica's playing 4 nights here in, September. I still don't know what I'm gonna do about that. They're doing 2 weekends, they do I don't know if it's Thursday and Sunday. I think it's Thursday and Saturday. I think it's Friday and Sunday. Um, one weekend, and then Friday and Sunday again the next weekend. I don't know if I'll go to 1 or 4 or 2. I definitely won't go to 3. Probably won't. I'll probably go to 2 or 4. Um, yeah, I'm kinda like that with Madonna. At this point, I'm just seeing her just because, why not? Same with when I saw Billy Joel, and I don't know who else. You get to a point where you wanna see him. I might regret it. I don't wanna see Madonna. I know she lip syncs, and I've only heard recently, I guess she's been like this forever. She's, like, horrendously late, like how Axel used to be. I just saw in the news last week some guys in New York were suing Madonna because she started the show like 3 hours late or something. She went on at like 11:45, or she was supposed to go on at 8:30 or something. She went on at 11:45. And apparently she's been doing that forever, and she does it pretty regularly. Um, and that just bothers me. Yeah, before they're dead. Yeah, yeah, sue Madonna. I understand that that's bullshit, but I don't think it's worth suing for. I don't think people deserve money, but no, Madonna should be more, she's been doing this a long time. She should be more. That's extremely unprofessional to go on 3 hours late. You can't just, you know, show up for work. I know it's not a normal job, but you can't show up to work 3 hours late. All right, and I guess I'll cut it now. There's only 2 left, which I assume are Kirk and Blue Flyer. Nothing against you 2 guys, but, and I gotta go, yeah, be more great. Just be more courteous of people. Have respect for people's times. Her fans are not, teenagers anymore. Her fans are people with jobs and kids, and, to be out, having a concert ending at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday night, that's no good for a lot of people. Not to mention, sitting around the arena doing nothing for 3 hours, maybe, spending your money on expensive beer or food or whatever. No, it's garbage. Rock and Hall in Lakeside. Lakeside, I guess, is Southern California, San Diego area. I remember that both of you guys are in San Diego. I remember that well. That's a bad name. Very 80s name, Rock and Hall. Never heard of the Spirit Club. I remember the Casbah and Brick by Brick. I saw Cadaver. I probably told you at Kirk. I saw Cadaver at Brick by Brick in 2019. Cadaver and Truck Fighters. Good show. Lucy's Fur Coat. Never heard of it, but I like it. Is that a band or a venue? Ah, Lucifer's Coat. Lucy's Fur Coat. Now I don't like it as much when it's a play on words. I like that it was just Lucy's Fur Coat. It's like, the name Lewis, like Louis, and then the last name Ziffer, like Zypher. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up, you guys. You guys can love one another another method, I guess. But I'm gonna go now. I gotta walk the dogs. Uh and the party's done. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you, Blue Flyer, and anybody else who showed up and participated. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And I hope we can do this again, maybe in another. Seems I do this every 6 months or so. Thank you, everybody, for joining in, and I hope everybody has a good night or a good whatever it is where you are, and lots more episodes. Thank you, Kirk. I was beginning to wonder about you, where you were. Uh, lots more of the records coming up. There's going to be no hikes for about a month. Eric's father is coming to Mexico, I think today or tomorrow. He's from Belgium. He's coming to visit for about a month. So the hikes are on hold for about a month. And then I'm going to be off for a week. So I think there won't be hikes again until the first or second Monday in March. It's going to be a while, but lots going on. All right. Thank you, you guys. And thank you to everybody. See ya.